HappiLeeErin. Today I'm going to be doing a special video for you guys. I'm going to be doing my first top list. This is my top 11-ish moments from Hunter x Hunter 2011, which, if you didn't know, ended recently, and I'm still not okay with it. Why? I tried real hard to make this just a top 5 or a top 10, but I might have fudged the numbers I did fudge the numbers just a little bit to make it so some of them might talk about more than one. You know, that might be a thing that happened. This is not, in case you're wondering, an official review or even professional in any way whatsoever. I just have a ton of feelings about this series, and if I don't feels barf, I am going to combust into a bunch of Hunter x Hunter feelings and Kuroko no Basuke's and otters. Because that's what errands are made out of, apparently. If you are watching this and you have not seen Hunter x Hunter 2011, then I want you to know that I spend so much time grieving over the fact that I cannot reblog Hunter x Hunter Tumblr gift sets because I do not want to ruin it for you. I did that for you. So do not spoil all of my hard work. Do not watch this video. Instead, go and invest your time watching Hunter x Hunter 2011 because it is freaking outstanding. It's an amazing series. You will not regret it. Just go to it, guys. Keep in mind that a lot of these, especially the moments that are higher up on the list, are pretty interchangeable. In fact, ranking moments 1 through 4 was kind of worthless because they are all just equally fantastic. So, let's get started. Coming in at number 11 is the Gon versus HISOKA fight in the Heaven's Arena arc. One thing I absolutely adore about Togashi's pacing is the fact that most events and goals are not dragged out for unnecessary amounts of time. And if they are, we still get some sort of gratification along the way. Gon wanting to return Hisoka's number tag could have been used as an underlying motivator for Gon to get stronger for arcs upon arcs upon arcs upon arcs, but it wasn't. Instead, the score was settled quickly in a way that was still satisfying. Their match was so exciting and intense because beyond the announcer, there was no needless exposition to handhold the viewer. Each hit, block, and pause, all of it was self-explanatory, adding to the tension as if we, the viewer, were actually there watching from the stands. The animation was top-notch, and the fight, like I was saying, the fight was not dragged out. It was only 2 episodes long, barely, and I think that snappy pace really kept up the momentum. Plus, this is the episode that Hisoka went from, you know, man, dude's a little bit creepy, to what the balls pervert is he really swinging right now? He's swinging. He is really swinging. Number 10, the dodgeball game from Greed Island, aka one of the most good, epic thing. Epic. It was epic. So because of Greed Island's OP, we knew something was going to happen that was going to cause Hisoka, Killua, and Gon to team up, which automatically implies that whatever is going to happen is going to be dope. But this dodgeball game completely knocked my expectations out of the water. The entire game itself is so much fun, and I think it really encompasses what the Greed Island arc was, which was a much happier, lighter, but still really exciting arc that was really necessary after the dark intensity that was York New City. My favorite moment of it, though, is watching Hisoka, Gon, and Killua having to literally combine to catch Razor's ball, and seeing how each of them played their respective roles in the moment was so awesome to see play out, especially Killua with his genius balance between offense and defense. So proud of that precious baby. I also have a real soft spot for the moment during this match when Killua's hands get hella destroyed because of Gon's Nen, but Gon is all, no, Killua's the only one that can hold the ball for me, and then Killua's eyes get all wiggly and touched. Their friendship is just so genuinely sweet and adorable, and knowing the upcoming bumps that said relationship is going to hit in the following Chimera Ant arc, this is one of those moments that you just treasure with them. Coming in at number 9 is a tie between the final battle of the Chimera Ant arc and NETERO versus King. See, this is where the ish in my title comes in because I tried for hours to figure out which one of these I wanted to do, and I talked to numerous Hunter x Hunter fans, and every single one of them was like one or the other or both because they were both such huge oh shit epic moments, and they kind of happen at the same time, so it's my video and that's how I am ish yodeling it. Yodeling it. The final battle of this arc is just epic all around, but these first few episodes, which is like an hour for us, but only 30 seconds Hunter x Hunter time, what? Were just so intense and heart-pounding and cleverly crafted in all of the best ways. My viewing progression was just a slow build of what? You have all of these different players who are having to think strategically and adapt as their opponents behave in ways that they're not necessarily expecting them to. And you never know if their choice is going to be the right choice, which makes you feel not necessarily the same amount of pressure, but some of the pressure that the characters are feeling, that if what they choose is wrong, it's gonna come at a cost. The use of the narration in the first few episodes of this fight was perfect. I got a little bit annoyed of it as the fight went on, but at the beginning it was so well done. And that combined with just the animation and Xeno's dragon dive and all of them meeting at the staircase and everything was just so thought out, and watching it play out was an experience. And then you have NETERO, who has one of the most badass powers ever, and you wouldn't think that a slow motion hand movement could be epic, but NETERO makes it one of the most epic things. So good. Epic is the only word I can think of. I'm sorry, my vocabulary is failing me. His entire fight with King is just balls to the walls exciting. I love how the writers with this entire arc have continually made us guess and question and think about who the heroes are versus who the villains are. The entire arc's moral ambiguity defines it, and is what makes this arc one of the most outstanding and mature arcs in anime. And can we just acknowledge how epic his whole "you think I can't pray with a single arm" line is? It's so good! It's so good! Ow. Coming in at number 8 is LEORIO punching Ging. Now, as we all know, there are many satisfying moments in Hunter x Hunter, but LEORIO straight up sucker punching Ging in the chin has got to be one of the best! Ging is almost number 1 for worst anime father ever award, and as much as I enjoy seeing his character on screen, I also despise him in the way that he was written to be despised. So to see LEORIO, who up until this point hasn't done too much in terms of impact, send Ging flying in front of hundreds of fellow hunters, I could not help myself, and I just found myself cheering, clapping, and cheering along because god damn, Ging saw that coming. Number 7 on my list is KILLUA versus Jones during the Hunter exam. What I love about this moment is that we as viewers already had at least an inkling that childish, smiling KILLUA had some sort of dark and dangerous side to him, because we'd seen him behead 2 dudes on a blimp, and he told Gon that he's from a family of assassins. So maybe more than an inkling, it was kind of obvious. But here we realize that KILLUA is terrifying. He dangles a guy's own heart in front of him after ripping it from his chest without a second's hesitation. He doesn't even flinch as Jones stares in horror as his heart takes its final beat. And then he lays the heart into Jones' lifeless palm. The entire scene is a shocking, jaw-dropping moment that makes us understand that Hunter x Hunter ain't gonna be afraid to get dark. And it's also one of the first moments we realize that the good versus evil ideals that are so standard and typical in shonen anime are about to get questioned and explored in ways that we've never really seen before. And when it comes to KILLUA in this scene, whereas other authors may have feared the possibility of revealing too much too quickly and risking the viewers losing interest in KILLUA, Togashi wrote the scene in such a way that instead of feeling like we had nothing left to learn about the white-haired assassin, we had everything left to learn. It made KILLUA that much more interesting of a character in my opinion. Though I have loved KILLUA from the start. He was always my favorite character, and as we learned more and more about him as the series progressed that love just deepened more and more for him, all the way up until the finale. My number 6 favorite moment from Hunter x Hunter is episode 116 plus KILLUA's breakdown in 124. If you need a refresher, episode 116 is when Gon and KILLUA finally come face to face with a very distressed Pitou, who's desperately trying to heal Komugi for the king's sake. It's fascinating to me how much personality and emotion each of the royal guard has and how their loyalties towards the king vary from one another. Upi's loyalty is much closer to Poof's loyalty, but Poof's loyalty is completely different than Pitu's loyalty. Pitu's terrified face as she recognizes how dangerous Gon is not out of fear for her own safety, but out of fear for her king and the fact that she may not be able to fulfill her king's demand. The directing in this episode was brilliant. Instead of using music to build the tension, they instead used background silence, which allowed you to fully focus on the emotion of the voices. And holy shitty titties, was the voice acting superb this episode. Gon's voice actress nailed every single one of her lines with raw and genuine vehemence. Her acting really captured Gon's struggle between his rage and trying to be level-headed about the situation. Even the art really lent itself to the overall terror and anger of the scene with the extra harsh and thick lines. And to top off all the emotion happenings, we see one of the first cracks in the relationship between Gon and Killua. One of the most standard tropes we see in shonen is the BFF, besties for life duo relationship, which Gon and Killua definitely represent. But like with everything Togashi has done with Hunter x Hunter, he takes the shallow, bare bones concept and pokes at the holes, at the fact that no relationship is without conflict, especially when you have two characters who, while they complement each other and are genuinely best friends, still have very, very different personalities and pasts that have shaped them to be who they are. At first, Killua is presented as the cool, calm, emotionless character, but we quickly learn that he is much more of a feeler than he first appears to be. Now, he is for sure logical and not as brash or earnest as Gon, but he is the more insecure and sensitive of the two, especially when it comes to the people he cares most about. Gon is Killua's first true friend. He is the first relationship that Killua has gotten to build and choose for himself. And because of that, he is at times incredibly self-sacrificing and dependent on Gon, which is why in episode 116, when Gon says what he does, it eventually leads to Killua's breakdown in 124. It's so heartbreaking because Killua feels completely useless, like he can't do anything to help his one true best friend. But as Palm tells him, Gon needs Killua as much as Killua needs Gon, just in very different ways. Killua needs Gon because Gon is a reminder to Killua that Killua is free to make his own choices, to live the life he wants to live, and he doesn't have to be constrained by his family anymore. Whereas Gon needs Killua because Killua is the only one who can keep him grounded, and most of the time, keep him from pushing too far and risking too much. It's almost as though, if we want to get all symbolic, it's almost as though to Killua, Gon is freedom, but to Gon, Killua is an anchor, which both of them really need in each other's life. And that's as close to fan fiction as one of my videos is ever gonna get.